There's what?
Cupcakes.
Ooh, cupcakes. My roommate brought me cupcakes.
Nope.
Mike is still shuffling around. Mike, find a
Mike.
place for yourself.
Or mute your mic or something. It's definitely shuffling a lot. It's gonna be.
It's not the mic. I said I was eating popcorn. Hold on, I'm almost done. I have like 5 more kernels. Hold on. And some butter. Yeah, how's college, dude?
Oh yeah. How's
It's
it going?
wonderful.
When you said wonderful, all I could think of was Pokemon Snap with Professor Oak grading your pictures. He's like, wonderful.
Oh yeah. And it's the worst photo ever.
I
And then
know.
he takes the best photo and he's like, you could have done better. And I'm like, he has a picture of Voltorb and it's just all white. And he goes, perfect. And I'm like,
Yeah. Jeez. What a douche.
If you were recording, that would have been a good way to start. Just a clip of you going like, "What a douche!" Welcome to the podcast.
Oh. Wow. You were close. Wonderful. Welcome back. Here is a present for you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm Matt, your host, and with me is Eli,
Hi.
Mike,
wonderful.
and our guest this week is Unoclay.
That's me eating popcorn, imitating Mike.
I'm pretty sure mine was more elegant. It was like, chew, 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 chew. Hear it?
Oh gosh, perfect. So I guess we'll start off with what we've been playing this week. I haven't been playing too much. I tried to play Mighty Number 9 before we started the podcast, but it had one of those stupid errors where you touch nothing and it automatically moves for you. So I didn't have time for that crap. And I didn't even get the email for the code. I had to download it from like someone else because the Humble Bundle tier they sent like didn't have the download link in it. I don't know, that it's such a mess with that game.
Can you elaborate? The game is out, or is it a demo?
No, it's just a demo for the backers.
Okay.
Yeah. They did give a release date of February 16th or something like that. So that's like 5-6 months away. So I still find it weird that it's only for the online mode.
Yeah, that's probably bullshit.
That sounds off. It sounds like they're prolonging it because they want to get like more money, which probably doesn't make sense realistically, but my stupid brain is like making that up. But the only other thing I really played was Plague of Shadows. I think I was at like 50% last week, but I finally beat it. I think it's awesome. Like, it's free, so if you were, I guess, on the fence about Shovel Knight before, it's just more content for you to play. And I didn't technically play it like right after I beat the main campaign with Shovel Knight, so I can't say like if you get tired after it. But if you give it like a month break and then go back to Plague Light, it's totally different the way he controls. So even though it's the same like levels, it plays so much more different.
So I have a question, Matt.
Yep.
If there was, say, a person on this very podcast that we have recommended on more than a few occasions to Shovel Knight, you think it's about time he does that?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, we were talking to Mike before last week, and the game, I think, is coming out in October in retail.
So
the
is Mike
retail-
buying a
there's a
retail
retail-
version?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course. I mean, digital. What a crime.
You're no scrub.
Yeah, what am I? Some sort of indie casual bitch? Come on.
I can identify with what Mike's saying about that, but I mean, at this point, like Shovel Knight, became part of the conversation of games. I mean, I really respect you holding out this long on it, but yeah, that's pretty crazy that you haven't even tried it yet. It's definitely even better now than it was before.
Yeah, no, I heard. I still find it odd that everyone associates Shovel Knight with Nintendo when the better versions are on the Xbox and the other one. Like, it's unfathomable that people think Shovel Knight Nintendo, and it's still it's the lesser version.
I think
Well, it was out first on Nintendo for like a solid 6 months.
Out
Sure.
first.
I think it's just the way like the game is designed and harkens back to like the NES days, and just the design of the character is so like, even though he only has one game, so he doesn't have a legacy, it's like an iconic design to it, just the way they made it all the way back then. So I think that's what really makes people think of it as a Nintendo associated thing rather than anything else. Plus, like, the influences like Zelda 2 and the Mario map and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much rounds up what I've been playing. Eli, what have... Actually, not to cut you off, Eli, but Unoclay, why don't we go to you? Because you were playing Shovel Knight, right?
Yeah, I was playing it a bit, as I was joking with you the other day. I'm not the only person out here who does this, but I know I save my portable games for situations that are more portable. In my case, most often that's work, and me going hiding places in like private conference rooms or maybe bathroom occasionally. When I need a break from my job and getting a little shoveling in. So I've been doing that. I haven't gotten too far in it yet. I've only gotten through 2 missions because I'm spacing it out because I have a ton of 3DS games and things I want to replay or things I want to get. But I kind of like to make the most of a game, and it's truly a really neat expansion, and it's been just enough time since we played the first installment, the original, campaign, that it really kind of reboots the whole game in my mind. Like you said, I mean, for those that are listening that haven't played it or tried it or even played the game, the levels are mostly identical to what they were before, but they've replaced and swapped out some sprites, some of the interactions, some of the functions of the weapons. And then the main draw for the Plague Knight campaign is that he controls extremely differently than Shovel Knight does. So instead of digging and stabbing with your shovel, you're doing a lot more like Plague Knight has kind of a unique hop and float mechanic that actually causes me to hold the 3DS differently, because if you're able to jam the one button faster, you can kind of almost hover like Yoshi style, and chuck bombs on the enemies beneath you. So you have like kind of a hover mechanic, but you have to keep jamming the button really fast. So I kind of hold my 3DS weird so I can press the button faster. But I'm really liking it. I think it's really worth everyone's time to download it and try it out at the very least. It'll get a game you already paid for back in your rotation.
Yeah, definitely. When you were saying you would play it like in conference rooms or the bathrooms, I found it funny because the bathroom would be the perfect place to play it because it can kind of get frustrating, and someone will just hear on the other side like, "Oh, just no, ah!" And they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, what did that guy eat for lunch today?"
Yeah,
they're like, "Just get in there."
I work in a very, very straight environment, so I try to keep it minimum with these kind of things, but. I'll bust it out and play it under my desk some days and things like that. Then that probably looks kind of weird, but I get away with it. Nobody's watching me too hard, so I'm getting my mileage out of it. But other than that, I continue to. I'm dabbling in Splatoon. It's definitely taken a hit in terms of how much devotion I'm giving it, with a few things competing for time. Matt, you and I have been playing fairly regularly together, but we've also. Been getting, the community just continues to evolve, in my opinion. People are getting pretty good out there, even when you mix it up. I mean, it tends to stay the same lately for me. If we go into the general non-ranked arena, you can usually hold your own or win fairly regularly. But then if you go into ranked battles, I've kind of been a steady B. I got up to B plus and almost into A one time, but then I got myself knocked back down. So I kind of know where my skill level's at, based on that. I been kind of stuck in the Bs for a long time, and I enjoy it, but it can be that disheartening experience of if you jump in there and you're kind of at the threshold of the next rank, and now you're getting matched against A's, where you're just really getting creamed. And I enjoy it. It's really good matchmaking system, in my opinion. It doesn't take too long to find matches, but I've definitely been stepping away thanks to other games that have been out lately. So I still want to put more time in it, especially playing with other people like you. It makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, we'll need to get back into it regularly because we were doing well for like the longest time, and then after we stopped doing it regularly, we started getting reamed. It's like, crap, we need to practice more.
Yeah, and I think the community's improved too. I think the community, a lot more people are playing it. It continues to sell fairly well, and there's a lot more people jumping in and new players.
And they keep adding new weapons and things for people to get accustomed to, or new stages where you have to get more accustomed to, and other people already did so. But
have either of the other guys been playing Splatoon at all? I haven't really heard you remark on it yet.
No, I unfortunately have not played Splatoon since about June. So I've missed a majority of the new maps and modes, other than like a few of them that were added at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah. Tell your
I still
professors
haven't even,
you
I
need
haven't even
some
bought
time.
it.
Yeah.
What was
I
it,
need to
Mike?
buy that. It's still Captain Toad. Like, oh, I'm slacking.
What was this? What?
He hasn't got around to buying it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll probably be on some Black Friday sale. I'll be like, oh yeah, Splatoon. No, I'll pick that shiz up. You know, Jafeel.
Yeah, the community's still pretty active at this
Oh,
point,
yeah.
and it's been out for months. So I think that it bodes well. It's growing almost, is my feeling. You see a lot of people that are still like relatively low ranked, working their way up when you jump in the public forum and stuff. So it's not like it's only people that are like level 30 and above, kind of where Matt and I are sitting at right about now. So
At the very least, the Japanese community will still go on
Yeah.
and kick our butts.
Have you guys seen any
Jeez.
level 50s?
I have
I don't
not.
think so. I think I've seen 30s.
I've seen 40s. I'm ranked
Yeah.
like 30, I think, right now. I've seen 40s for sure on a regular basis, but I don't personally remember seeing a 50 or anyone even close to it yet. So it must be a huge grind.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll get better because I'm sure Smash Bros. DLC will start rolling out
Yeah.
like the stage at the end of the month, and then probably characters from then on. So
Yeah.
Splatoon's probably gonna be put on the back burner. But well, why don't we move on to Eli?
Yeah, so I've not played a ton of games recently, but I did play Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer for review.
Okay, cool.
And I guess spoiler, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Ouch.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
All Animal Crossing is terrible, so this is not new. That's like
Well,
the highest you
it's-
give any Animal
It's
Crossing.
Animal
The
Crossing
problem
light,
is-
from
well,
what I can
they-
tell.
What happened? The biggest problem with this game is that they cut out, say, like 5% of what Animal Crossing is, and is trying to sell it for a full retail price of a game. And there's so much that, like, even just thinking about it, they could have added so much to the game that could have made it good, even while keeping the same mechanics in place, that they just didn't do. Like, for example, my biggest problem is that there's no sort of system to reward the player. So, like, you could decorate a house and spend an hour decorating a house, or decorate it for 3 minutes, and the same reaction is the villager's going to be thrilled with you, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's no reward. There's no anything. I feel like the game would have been so much better had, for example, they given like a bell system. Like, so in Animal Crossing, the currency is bells. I feel like it would have been better had they been like, all right, when you decorate a home, you get a payment depending on how well you did, and then you could go and with using that money, you could expand like buildings in the city or whatever. Because they ask you to, for example, put together a school. So it would be cool if using that money you earned, you could then go and add rooms to the school or add rooms to the museum or whatnot. But they didn't do that. Like in the main game, there's a thing called the Happy Home Academy, and what it does is it rates your building, your home based off of a point system, and there's a whole in-depth system of how you place your furniture and your colors and everything. This game has none of that. I feel like it would have been so much better if, say, you were done with a villager's home, and at the end it's like, this home scores 700 points or whatever because of this, this, and this. Here's what you could do to make it better. But they don't do that either, and it's so infuriating. If someone goes straight through the game, they'll be done in an hour and a half.
Wow.
I actually spent time on the different buildings and stuff. It took me about 4 to 5 hours to finish the game, and I think that's about standard. Like if a normal person plays the game, they'll be done in 4 to 5 hours. There is more, like you could just go and decorate more people's homes, but there's no reason to do it. There's no incentive or anything. So that's my problem with the game. I mean, sure, the design elements are wonderful, but there's nothing else there. Do you guys have any questions for me about the game?
I have a question.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was gonna say. So what's the appeal of like the actual Animal Crossing games that gets people to continue playing that's missing in Home Designer? Because as far as I can tell from Animal Crossing, it's just like you get money to buy furniture in your house, and then you get more money to buy better furniture, and it's just a cycle of, do I think this is enough? And that's how you get your enjoyment. But I'm not too sure.
Okay. Well, there's so much more to Animal Crossing.
Yeah, there's fishing and cooking or whatever. There's other stuff, but I mean, like,
there's
the main
actually no cooking.
Okay.
So you are greatly mistaken there, Matt.
There is fishing. I've seen that.
There is fishing. There is chopping down trees. There is planting flowers. There is digging up fossils and catching bugs and digging up gyroids or uroids, however they're pronounced. There's collecting music. There is but the point is that you're paying off this loan on your house through doing making friends with villagers, building up relationships with them, doing chores for them and stuff. It really never is. I mean, yes, people can deck out their own house and make an awesome house and really make it a home for them, but that's not really the main point. And especially in this last game, New Leaf, it was very much about town development. So you could raise bells and then you could build a bridge, or you'd raise bells and you could put in a traffic light or whatever it was in the actual city. And that's simply not a part of this game. And it's just this very one-sided aspect to what Animal Crossing is, and there's no reward. You're not building towards anything. In the regular Animal Crossing games, there's always the end reward of paying off your house, and there's like a million different ways to get to that place. And there's nothing like that, which is really unfortunate.
It sounds like they should have incorporated something along the lines of The Sims, where, yeah, you can make a house to what this person specified, but let's say you want to build a community, or I don't know, you build a certain building in an area to get people more attracted to buying houses, or something along the lines of that, rather than just here's one house, you're done, and then move on to the next house.
Yeah, I wish there was more organizational system. Or, for example, it gives you, every time you build a house for someone, it asks you where do you want to put the house, and it shows you a town map. And first of all, it really doesn't matter where you put the house. You can put it anywhere. But it doesn't save over. So, like, you could put 100 people in the same plot of land, and the game wouldn't see it any differently. Like, it wouldn't care. Like, it would be much cooler if it was, like, instead of Happy Home Designer, it was, like, Town Builder or whatever. Yeah. And it would incorporate the actual design elements, but then it would also be, like, actually place these people in different spots around the town, create the town, because you also, like, put together shops and stuff, and so then there would be expansion, all this, but none of that is there. It's literally the most quick cash in they could have done. The game is just not the game is worth maybe like $3.
It sounds like this one should have been the free to play game, and the board game should have been one that was worth money.
Maybe, but we'll see how the board game turns out, because I don't think that'll be.
No, I'm sure that's not worth money, but it sounds like the model of the Happy Home Designer would fit like free to play better.
Yeah, maybe pay like 50 cents for each item. I don't know.
Something.
Maybe not 50 cents, because that's actually kind of expensive too.
Maybe like pay more to get a larger plot of land or something to expand like your area to design more houses or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so there are a decent amount of issues. I've also played. Started The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That game is really big, and I've played maybe like 5-8 hours of it, and I'm not very far in. Well, excuse me, but I think the game is pretty fun for what it is, or it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. The last big RPG I played in that style was maybe Dragon Age Inquisition, and I really didn't like Dragon Age Inquisition, so it was nice coming to this and really liking it. So there's that. What else did I play? Oh, and I've just been playing a bunch of FIFA. Oh, and Arkham Knight. That's what I played. I played all the way through Arkham Knight.
Okay, so how do you feel about that? Because I've heard like mixed things with people.
So I'm not sure if I talked about this on the last podcast I was on, but Arkham Knight, the story. I really enjoy the story, and I really like how it kind of ended and everything, and the way it was formatted. However, it's just not. It's not when they say like third time's the charm or whatever. It's really not, because the combat in Batman was very unique for its first game. For the second game, they just made it bigger. For the third game, they added the Batmobile, which I don't really think added all that much to the game. And then they just made it bigger again. And there was really nothing else added. And that's the problem I have with the game is it's just bigger is not always necessarily better.
Yeah.
And I wish it stayed because the first game was built on the premise of this Metroidvania-style title where there was this clear progression. You could come back to the same areas again and reach it using your new weapons that you got. And with this open world world way that the game is formatted now, I just don't think it has the same appeal and it doesn't work nearly as well. So that's that.
Okay. So, Mike, what have you been playing?
Well, besides the usual Smash, I've been pretty addicted to Super Mario Maker lately. Because there's some good challenging levels they're pretty fun, like those Kaiser Mario levels. So
yeah.
I play them I play those all the time. Like usually takes me I'm only like 1 for 3 on them, but it took me like 4 hours to beat one of those levels. It was really fun. And I played a really good one. It was called Just Do It, and it was a level where there was consistent troll warp pipes and doors, and you keep going to it. And if you went to the wrong area, the guy would put invisible blocks in between the gaps, so you would time the jumps perfectly. And you'd always have the invisible blocks there, so you would just jump and die straight from there. So that took me about 35 minutes to beat until I figured it out. And I don't even think I did it the right way to beat it, but I don't care because, I love doing that. The levels the community makes are awesome, And I told you, before, I was kind of pissed off that all the amiibos do or any or really any of freaking the amiibos 8-bit retro costumes do is kind of nothing.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I did notice that I forgot to I noticed during the week, right after after the podcast, where if you beat any of the Mario challenges with the retro costume on, so the unfortunate thing is you don't get to choose what kind of Bowser level you're gonna do. But if somebody puts in a costume and you beat Bowser with that, and you rescue Peach from the 100-Man Mario Challenge, you get a different ending, a different text box and all that. I won as Peach, and she's like, "Oh, you look quite similar to me," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, that's clever." You know what I mean? Now I want to know what happens when I beat it with every other character and all that.
That's cool. I know.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. So my goal now is just to do that. The next thing, yesterday I won an easy 60 in Smash, even though I have a full-time job now and I don't need that, but it's nice to get the extra cash.
I could use it.
You can send
I really
it this
want to
way.
part it.
Let's see, besides Smash Arena, I've been playing Xeno Drifter, I don't know how to say it, XEO Drifter.
Yeah.
But that's an indie game.
Yeah, it's free though, it's free, so... I play things that are free. I don't hate indie games that are free.
What do you mean it's free? How did you get it free?
PlayStation Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was I think it was September's PlayStation Plus with Sound and Shapes and Super Time Force Ultra.
Nice.
Yeah, so I beat Sound and Shapes 100%. That was somewhat of a pain in the ass. The level was really unique and cool, and I enjoyed the crap. I enjoyed the game. I just love those rhythmic kind of environmental games, kind of like Tearaway, but Tearaway was way more involved. But I like those kind of things. But yeah, but Xeno Drifter, whatever, game's mega short, and it's kind of like a super easy Metroid, but it's pretty cool. And then I heard Axiom Verge is similar or something like that. So yeah, I don't know, but I enjoyed it. It was free, so usually when I say they're good, that means I didn't pay, and so this would be good. But if I paid for it a SAP, then it wouldn't be that good. So, but yeah, it's fun for what it is. And then, did I play anything else? I got the Rainbow Six Siege beta. I did it. Billy had the pre-technical, so before the beta. But Rainbow Six, and it's awesome. I recommend everyone to play Vegas 1 or 2 before they get this one, which I heard comes with this game anyway when you buy it. So, do that, you'll be all good. And then, that's my life story.
Cool.
Also, I still hate Mario Kart 8 and Hyrule Warriors. I played Hyrule Warriors once last week, and I almost fell asleep right on the spot. How terrible that game is. Even co-op with a friend, it's that bad.
I wonder if you would change your mind if with the 3DS version, since you can swap.
Oh no,
between
that is a
characters.
straight up crime. No. Like, why would you remake that shitty ass game? They duped everybody with that game. Like, I knew it. I've been professing it for like a year. All right, but man, whoever says that game is good is a tool, and that's it. All right.
I might try it because I think swapping characters would make the repetitiveness more bearable. Because then instead of playing a 40-minute mission as one character, you could switch between, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3. So I'm kind of interested if they put out a demo, maybe.
But it's not the characters that make the game terrible. It's just the gameplay and its style just make it terrible. Like it's just not fun. Like, no matter what you do, I don't care who I am. I just don't have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could play as Sheik and use her stupid harp, and I'm like, all right. But then the next level will force you to play as somebody else. And I don't want to, and B, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, just with a different salad dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that gives me concern. I haven't played it yet. It's been like kind of on my radar for a while. I usually do a little bit better about playing, kind of flagship releases for Nintendo. That one I've had my doubts because repetitivity can be such a detriment for me. It's why I don't play RPGs. Sorry, guys that like RPGs. I just find it like do the same thing for like 5 days. I'm not interested, kind of thing. But I can't deny that I'm kind of interested to play that game, and since it's kind of coming down in price for Wii U or maybe the 3DS version, but I'm sort of thinking it might be the kind of game that looks better on a big screen, even though I'd like another portable kind of thing to dig into. I don't know. Mike doesn't sound like he likes it at all, and Eli, have you played it?
I had Dynasty Warriors. Like, I played one of them on PS2, and I had Dynasty Gundam, and I mean, I love Gundam, and I hate Dynasty Warriors on the Gundam. It took me like 4 years to even get to like 50% trophies. How boring and terrible it is. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to 100% it. I actually might have given that might be one of the few games I've given up on 100%ing. That's how I can't play it.
Well, let's step back from it, like in terms of your like dislike for this particular installment, because maybe it's partly that you've played the other installments, and for someone who hasn't, it might be more appealing. But let me ask you this:
I mean, I love Zelda, I love Nintendo, but this is the only game. This is the first Dynasty Warriors game I've ever actually played with friends. Like, I actually did some multiplayer, and I dislike it even more. Like, I can't get into it. And I'm like, man, I played these games solo, and I kind of enjoyed it, but now I just hate it. Like, I dread every minute. Like, I keep telling myself, I'm like, I gotta beat this game. It's the same thing with Mario Kart 8. I tell myself I gotta finish off mirror mode, but I just don't care. It's that bad.
Let me ask you this though, like the one thing, like stepping back from this installment, like would, in general, if you think of one of the ones you did enjoy, would you have found it interesting to play it on a handheld, or would you see it more as the kind of game you want to play on a big screen, or it's
no,
very different?
Definitely a console game. Now the way I enjoyed Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2. Like, I enjoyed the shit out of it. Like, I enjoyed playing a demo of it, and I'm like, I gotta get this game. But maybe it was more in the fact that I thought it'd be cooler playing as robots and Gundams and all that. But yeah, I don't see this game being good for the handheld. Like, if I'm playing this on a handheld, it feels like I'm gonna be mad. Well, first off, I feel like my 3DS is gonna break because all you do is mash 2 buttons. By the way, that's it. It's only 2 buttons you use, so there's no other skill behind it besides pressing Y and B or Y and A, whatever way you're gonna have it configured. But the other thing is that I feel like if I was playing this game, that you're just gonna break your 3DS. You're just gonna literally. I'm gonna close my 3DS, reopen it up, and be like, oh, okay. So that's all that was. That's it. I'm gonna come back to him like, oh yeah, I still have this mission. So maybe it's good in that sense that you can pause yourself in missions rather than turn off your whole Wii U and be like, oh my god, I have to redo this whole 40-minute mission again. Okay. But that's the only advantage I see in handheld.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks.
It's funny that you bring up Dynasty Warriors Gundam, because I remember when my friend got a PS3 at launch, He didn't really have many games, so he tried some demos and we downloaded it because like giant fighting robots. Yeah, it looks awesome. Let's try it. And we tried it and we're playing it and like, this is the most boring demo I've played. It's just mash this one button and it's like at the end it's like you killed 500 guys. I'm like, I'm already sick of the demo. There's no way I would pay for a full length version of this.
Yeah, and the thing is though, like the only cool thing about the Dynasty Warrior Gundams one was like you level up and you get new moves. Like I mean, it's like 3 different moves. Who cares? And you never use them anyway. But like at least there was like that to look forward to. But
yeah,
oh man. Just not the series. Like I mean, I enjoy Dynasty Gundam Warriors for what it was, but Dynasty Warriors just what a bad franchise. And then the Hyrule Warriors is probably the worst of the franchise. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. I think we should move on. Before we get to any news, I don't know if you guys.
Clay, did you buy Phoenix Wright? Because that's the real issue.
No, I don't find those kind of games entertaining whatsoever. I could.
Oh no! Did you buy Gunstar Heroes? I meant.
Oh yeah, Phoenix Wright. I was gonna say like I could go on.
Yeah, I knew I was mixing up the games because I bought Joey Phoenix Wright, so he finally played that for the first time.
Yeah, Colin. I remember we talked about it on a former episode when I guested. I did. Glad we're not going to talk about Phoenix Wright because I would have to do a mic and just be like, those games suck and there's no reason to play those games and they're the same thing over and over again. It's not even a mystery. You just sort of press the button again and again and then guess what, I could go on. But,
yes, I ruin those kind of games. Okay, that ruins the style of it, all right? You got to be like, bitch out. It's like, holy shit, I am too stupid to figure this out, okay?
All right, I'm going to press every spot on the screen, and then I'm going to solve the case. It's great. But no, I did, and I played it on a plane, and it is short. I'm glad people warned me because, I mean, within the first hour of a flight, I got to the final board.
Wow.
I discovered, which this must be old news, like i.e. back to the 90s kind of old news. But if you just get the lock-on weapon, the weapon that locks your weapon,
triangle and fire.
Yeah, exactly. If you just get lock-on weapon and whatever your preference is for the second weapon, like the way the bullets track, like basically for those who haven't played the game, it's a shooter in the vein of Contra or a Metal Slug or something like that. But it's very stylistic. It's really cool. It's got a Japanese flavor to the way some of the presentation and the quote plot is and stuff like that. It's got a little bit of Mega Man flavor to it in some ways. And but it's got a really unique weapon system where you can have 2 weapon slots at a time and you can mix and match. In that, if you have weapon A and weapon B, it actually affects the way the gun works, and you can even reverse that same combination and have it be a different kind of gun. So you have a heat-seeking mechanic and a fire mechanic. So now you have like a heat-seeking fire gun. I'm just kind of making this up out of my memory, but
I messed up, by the way. It was it's the green triangle and electricity is the automatic lock-on. That weapon doesn't work though in the the level where you do the dice, the 4th level, you can make it decide. Yeah, it doesn't work there because it locks onto the broken machine. So it's like, all right.
There's certain ways the game kind of like blocks you from using the most powerful setup, but it doesn't take you very long to figure out, hey, the lock-on weapon that basically makes your bullets fly to whatever enemies are coming on the screen is the best weapon, and you are just going to like charge through what would be massively difficult Metal Slug Contra type scenes, that are like where you'd be losing all your lives. Like you're just like charging through, but nevertheless, it is super fun because it's just a debauchery of like explosions. Of things.
You didn't even get to play co-op. Like it's so great co-op. When I was gonna say was like you said, it was really unique. I love the fact that you can hang from platforms, like kind of like in that Crash Bandicoot. Like you can hang on those areas or grapple enemies and throw them into another ones. Like I love that, and just the fact everyone blows up. Like not just like trees blow up, like humans blow up when you throw them into each other.
Yeah, it's like a masturbatory experience. It's just like everything explodes and you have guns, and you're running through just killing everything. And the bosses are awesome. It's too short. I mean, who knows that someday they'd revive that franchise and get it sequelized? Who knows?
They made a sequel for the DS. But the thing is, though, each level is unique. Like the first level is a normal platformer, but after that, like I said, you have the dice level, you have the go-kart level where you have that fake 3D when you're going down, kind of like, the second level of Battletoads when you're kind of hanging down from the ropes before you get into the wind tunnel, and you're going down vertically. Yeah, you have like all these kind of like different levels, so it's not like, like for people who are like listening about it, it's like it's not just I'm going left to right. Like there's so much more to this game, and it's just it's unique and fun. I thought like the $5-6 it is like I think that's like it might be a little too much for it because I know they remade it for the full 3D, but I still think it's a great experience. The game.
I think I agree. It's totally worth the money like that they're charging for it, given that it's fully 3D remastered. It's got button mapping, and you can even play co-op. I guess if you have someone locally that has a 3DS, I don't know if you need it installed on both or not. I haven't tried it, but I can't imagine playing a 2-player because I could beat it so easily on 1 player. I actually didn't beat it yet. Full disclosure, I missed the final boss, but I didn't beat it.
Makes it like fun. It's just like the one thing I noticed when I was playing 2-player is just how much fun I had with it because it's like I'm you're playing with your brother, you're playing with your like friend, and it's just like you easily know you can get through this. But then the other thing that happens is just like what, like I just wanted to blow shit up with my friend. That's about it. It's one of those experiences. It's like going to the arcade and just like, hey, we're probably not going to beat the Simpsons game right now, but we're going to play it anyway.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. So we'll move on because we've been talking for quite a while on this. One thing before all the news, the game Legend of Legacy, the demo came out. So that's the game that has a bunch of like prestigious creators from Chrono Trigger and some other, I forget, but a bunch of JRPG games. So if you like those old school JRPGs, you should probably check it out. I didn't really get to give it much time, but so I don't know. I wasn't really fond of it, but I didn't get to play it too long, and I had to kind of rush through it. So, just check it out for yourself. For Amiibo news, this one's weird. It says Target lists Shovel Knight as a January release date, but then in the UK, you can pre-order it on Nintendo's UK store, and it says it's coming out November 27th. So I don't know what's the deal with that. Maybe the UK is getting it first for some inexplicable reason. No idea there. Nintendo turned 126 this year on September 23rd. I wrote this wrong. Yeah, they turned 126 on September 23rd, and they started in 1889. So that's just crazy how long they've gone on for.
Can anyone love hotels?
Yeah, jeez.
Pretty much.
And then they went all conservative. Like, no. We make children's games, please.
Totally.
No voice chat.
Yeah. You're not even allowed to talk to each other. Some GBA games are coming to the VC. Pocky, Rocky, and Becky are coming. I kind of would have liked the SNES version, but they already said that's probably not going to happen. And the Metabots games, which I was really fond of before, so that's cool to see them come on. So the new 3DS, one thing people loved about it were the cover plates, and it looks like they're coming to North America, at least through Nintendo's online store. So if you're getting the new 3DS bundle with Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, this fall you can get a new cover plate to cover that up.
Make sure you never had that one. Like, just order the Japanese Shulk Monado one. Feel all good about it.
Oh, that one's so cool.
I was going to ask... The one thing I was going to ask was...
Sorry, guys.
Oh, so yeah, before I go... The one thing I was going to ask was, this is the new 3DS. It's slightly bigger than the regular 3DS, but it's still smaller than the original 3DS XL, right? Like, has anyone, like, held it or seen it? Like, is it, like... Because, I mean, I want to change my faceplate covers. Like, that's kind of, like, the big appeal for me. But at the same time, like, I never played, like, with a regular 3DS. Like, I think they're too small and not as good. I was going to ask if any of you guys seen it or playing with it.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't either.
All right. It's whatever.
Yeah.
At one point, Clay did ask about my opinions on Hyrule Warriors, and I did want to say... Now, even though 20 minutes removed, that I did think that Hyrule Warriors was kind of boring.
Hot steaming garbage. Yes.
Enough said. I did not say it was garbage, but it did get boring. All right, moving on, just so that I'm not dead.
So there were extra items found in Super Mario Maker that were actually patched out.
Spoiler alert. Oh, wait. Spoiler alert for people listening.
So Unoclay, plug your ears. The Angry Sun from Mario Brothers 2 was in there. Bullet bills without a launcher, which
Mario
is
Brothers 3,
kind of
for your
weird.
information. Oh no, it is Mario Brothers 2. You're right.
Yeah.
Why am I
weird
thinking
one.
Mario Brothers 3 from the desert level? Or is he in both
don't know.
games? I remember you could just fly over him in one of the levels, like World 2 or something like that. It doesn't really matter though.
I think he's 3. I'm not
He is
100%.
Okay, I think it is. I wrote down 2. I don't know why. I think I was just copying whatever.
Because-
Mario Brothers 2 smells. It's the
No
worst
way.
one.
Mario Brothers 2 is awesome, and I totally wish they would have included it. But
Oh god, it's like saying you wanted like peach and turnips in the game.
Birdo forever, man. Come on.
Oh gosh. They also had the Goomba shoe for New Super Mario Brothers U.
The Goomba what?
So that's the Goomba shoe
The
or
Goomba.
Karibo shoe. Whatever, it's the same
I
difference.
thought you said like a Goomba shoot. I was like, they have parachutes in Mario Brothers? Why would this
Yeah.
patch down?
But so either that was just cut content or something they'll add later, like Splatoon. It's just buried deep in there and they didn't finish it. Who knows? But they also patched out costumes with the day 1 patch. So what someone found was Baby Mario, EGAD, Golden Retry. I'm not sure what the heck that's supposed to be.
Somebody told me
Mashiko.
what it's supposed to be, but I can't remember it. I think Golden Retriever from Nintendogs was one of the guesses.
Okay, that makes sense. Mashiko, whatever the heck that is. Muncher, which is probably an enemy. Nabbit. A Tetris block. I don't know why. And apparently the last was the Windows logo.
That's great.
So, I don't know, maybe they were testing something that's kind of weird. Some people are trying to make jokes like, Nintendo's buying Microsoft, they put the Windows logo in it.
I was gonna say maybe like Nintendo were playing like a beta version. They're like, yo, let's just make a Windows logo just for shits and giggles. Nobody will find out.
Yeah.
But
I'm wondering how long it is before they start putting like kind of sabotage like bait in the code like that, something like that where, to mess with us, like quite literally, since now everybody's like, kind of minding their games, like why not put complete like mess with your head kind of stuff in there to throw you off the scent, like I don't know, because it's happened to
got
Smash
the head
Bros.
shot or something.
No, it would be awesome now that you say that. Sakurai is a huge troll, so imagine if you put like some sort of code in there to make it seem like we were getting one character but got another. Like he got I forget, someone from the Xenoblade team to retweet like a Smash Brothers announcement for that day to try to make it seem like, oh look, there's something Xenoblade related, because like one of the developers' wives like would retweet something whenever there was a direct, and then it ended up being like a completely different character. So they did that like just to screw with people. So that'd be funny if you wrote like I don't know, Agumon or something is in the code, and then it's like a different thing.
I agree.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool too. Like they
Just to screw with them.
yeah, like they name the files of different things, but it just in reality it's probably just a question mark block. And it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
freaking, like that was supposed to be in there. And it's like, yeah, not really, man, not really. But on a side note, was there? I mean, was there anything missing in Mario Maker that you guys wanted, like that's not in it? Like, you know what I mean? Like having the shitty P balloon power from like Tubular in Super Mario World. Like, I mean, I
have a question. Am I missing something? How do you get to the Nintendo created levels on Super Mario Maker?
yeah, I don't.
I
want to know.
shoot, I think
Because like I've been
is
playing.
it the 10 Mario challenge, I think?
That's what it is. Yeah. I hate how you have to make it through, but you can only unlock the next 10 if you make it through the first 10 without dying 10 times. That kind of sucks for the later sets. I started going through them. It kind of sucks for the later sets because if you don't make it through, then you're kind of screwed. You have to go through everything again.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, explain a little better that you have to make it through the later sets and go through it again. Like,
Oh,
'cause
I mean,
clicked
like-
on the first 10, and I didn't have time to mess with it yet.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I think the way it works is like if you die on like the 6th level out of 8, then you have to go back to number 1 again.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were maybe
So
saying like 100 in a row or something
Oh,
like that.
no. But what I meant is like I assume there's a difficulty curve, so in the later, once you're getting through level 70 through 80 or whatever, and there's, considerably more difficult levels,
Right.
You know, how much are you going to tear out your hair trying to get through those?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm looking forward to it because I really like that kind of thing, but I probably have a little more time than you do right now. I can see both sides of that argument because, like, if you're just starting, college, as we were talking about, and getting into the classes and things like that, your time is extremely limited, and that could be a little frustrating if you just want to try the later levels. Me, personally, I grinded a game for months, and I'm like, well, I got the time to get at that, and if I don't get through, like, level 85, well, big deal, I'll try again another time or whatever. So I can see that, but I only played the first 10 so far, so I wasn't really. But so we're confirming. My understanding was a little blurry on that too. Those levels are the 100 included levels that they gave us or whatever. Correct? Those are the ones.
yeah, I think so.
Right. Cool.
I feel
Quick
like
question, Mike.
some of the levels repeat though. I don't know. I feel like
it's
Oh, it does.
yeah. So they give you like one set of 10 levels you have to beat. And if you fail to beat them, you have to beat them again. I think they reorder it, but it's the same block of levels until you beat that block of levels.
Got it.
So, Mike, quick question. I've seen that you've been playing a lot of Mario Maker. What's the fastest way to get amiibo costumes? Because sometimes I get some, and then sometimes like nothing happens.
Have amiibos?
It's I have quite a few, but I don't have 100 amiibo.
Well, if you don't want to buy 100 amiibo, all right.
Like some other people on this podcast have.
Yeah.
Come on, get with the plan, bro.
All I was gonna say was, you go just play easy mode of 100 Mario challenge to get all of the amiibo you want.
Okay.
So, I'm still doing the s'more.
Did you say you're eating a s'more?
Yep.
That is the most random thing. That is the most random food you could be eating on a podcast. Like, yeah, I'm eating a s'more right now. Do you
Hear fire crackling in the
you
background.
got a campfire in your room there?
Now that I swallowed
Level
my
imps work.
s'more, okay? Gosh, guys.
What score would you give it? 8 out of 10 or what?
Oh, this s'more, man. All right, so I had one not warm, so it's only all right. But then I put 3 of them in the microwave to perfection. Solid 9.5.
9.5, man. It's portable too. That's crazy.
All right. Now let's see. All right, where was I? All right, so you can just play 100-man Mario challenge and do easy mode because you only have to play 8 instead of 16 for expert and normal. And the levels they give you, some of them are like 2 steps or those auto levels.
I've seen
So
it's like walk to the end.
yeah, basically. And it's like, oh, that's it. And then, I did that this morning because I was like, all right, I want to play expert. And I was like, I'm not in the mood to play for like an hour. So I played easy mode. I swear, 4 of the 8 levels was like 1 jump. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I got the Mario Kart 8-bit one. I always get shitty-ass Animal Crossing 8-bit ones. And I'm like, bro, I hate Animal Crossing. And all I get is that and Splatoon ones. And I'm like, no. I'm like, give me something good, all right? Like, damn it. I don't have my amiibos open to use them, but, still, I don't want these shitty-ass Animal Crossing bullshits, all right? Like, it's not even a game, all right? It's crap, all right?
Quick thing before I move on to something else. The amiibo costumes, so if you go down the flagpole, it makes a sound. If you taunt, it makes a sound. If you jump and some other stuff, it does. But if you collect a star, sometimes it'll actually give you different music.
Really?
I kind of don't want to spoil it, but if you're Metal Mario, you should try the star. And if you have the Mario Kart, like Mario raiding a cart, you should try it. Because someone made a level with it where you have a star, and it's nostalgic and awesome when you actually get to hear it.
Cool. Thanks for the no spoilers. I appreciate that. I look forward to it. I don't have a Metal Mario either, so I'll have to like unlock it the other way. I didn't even know how you unlock them because I just scanned in 1 or 2 of my amiibos and was like, wow, this is rad. And then that's all I really did with that so far. So since we're talking, can I ask a question? Since we're talking Mario Maker, it's pretty obvious, but I haven't uploaded any of mine yet because they're not good because I don't have the whole set, so they're lame, to be honest. And I'm just still messing around with like making really basic levels since I don't have tools. But how do you position where Mario will exactly start on the screen? Because that's something that I can never quite figure out, since I don't like have a way to lock him down, or you know what I mean? So I don't quite know how to design some elements of the levels when I'm at the very beginning of the level. How I'm going to know exactly what position he appears in? Like, is there a way to specify that in the maker?
I don't think so. I think it's you appear 2 blocks from the left,
Okay.
and then the front platform you can move up and down or whatever is just obviously changes your height.
Okay.
But I think that's it.
Okay. It's a random nitpicky thing, but since I didn't upload it yet, I didn't have a way to like kind of test it. And I didn't want to upload like a crappy level and then waste, do that to people and have people trying that out and thinking that's the level I'm making. Like, oh, look, Unoclay uploaded his level. Try it out. Yeah. And it's like ridiculous ass where it's like a flagpole and like nothing except
I can't make
Yeah.
anything. I have no skill in creation. I couldn't do it for Little Big Planets. I don't even know how they make a warp pipe to go to another area in creation. So like my levels are just like, all right, let me make the hardest, stupidest thing I can. Oh, let me put one square everywhere and make everyone try to frame one jump it. And it's like, and I'm like, nah, I can't put this out. This is garbage. Then I just delete it and play everyone else's levels.
So I'll answer 2 of those things. So Mike, if you want to go to a subworld, you make a warp pipe and then you just drag Mario on top of it. It's weird though. I don't think you can't actually do that until you've unlocked like the whole set. So even if you have the warp pipe, you still can't do it, which is kind of stupid. For Unoclay, one way to test your level without uploading it is if you press the minus button to play your level, it'll automatically start you where it would normally if you were just playing it. So instead of just pressing play and you play from like the 1 block in the middle of the level, if you press minus, it'll start.
I
from,
did
like,
not
the
know that.
beginning.
That's hugely helpful. I mean, we could have made a whole sub column on this show about like hints for Mario Maker, because I just like every time I want to play the level like from beginning, I just use the menu, scroll myself all the way back really quick, drop myself in, and then run. It seemed clunky to me, but I hadn't thought of another way to do it other than like click on the map and then press play, or whatever. But okay, neat tip.
Yeah. One other quick neat thing is, since you brought up where you start, someone actually made a level where in Super Mario World, he's all encased in like the land or the terrain or whatever. So it looks like it's glitchy because Mario technically starts off in the land, but if you jump, you move up like 1 block and you can move like left and right without falling because you're in the ground, and then made a level based off of that. So that was kind of a cool thing. And then if you jump in the wrong spot, you're just screwed in an inescapable area with enemies.
Right.
So that was kind of neat. But something we can hopefully get over quickly before we leave is Unoclay, you want to bring up IGN has finally brought over the notifications that we've been asking for.
Yeah, thank God, right? I mean, after a whole summer where the whole system out there is broken, I mean, Matt and I, and I'm sure you guys quite often have been talking about, well, who's the listener base out there? And it's got to be at least several people coming from the IGN door, coming in and listening to this, and you guys, which is where I came from to listen to you guys and even befriend you guys, but it's, I had been out there this summer in San Francisco. I'd even had a face-to-face conversation with some of the guys there, and they were guaranteeing it's getting fixed, and it is, but it's slow as heck. But it's now, as the listeners that aren't IGNers should know, that you should come back to the site, because at least notifications are sort of working again. It's better than it's been in a long time, and where it'll remain to be seen, I'd say, whether this site's going to rebuild or not. To a little bit of a bigger user base, but currently it's pretty minimal, less people than normal on there for sure, blogging and talking, but there's kind of a core group of people that are still in there, I noticed, but at least notifications are working again. So if you write a blog summary, you will get a notification when someone responds to your comments. You don't get a notification when you get comments on your blog initially, but you do get response notifications, and you get a newsfeed notifications now too. So it's getting a little better, and they say they're still working on it. So hopefully they'll get to some function.
Yeah,
It's just
for me, it hasn't really worked. I got like 1 actual notification on their new system, even though I've still gotten notifications, but for the most part I haven't. So it's still it's live technically, but it's still like not.
What do you mean? You're not
100%
getting notifications
working.
when I comment on your newsfeed things? You're not getting any?
Not so. If you go on like your page and the newsfeed button, like the profile button, like all at the top bar, and it would appear in red.
Mm-hmm.
That one I get, but the one like the bubble one, either at the bottom of the page or on the drop down on the top right of the page, I still don't get it. Like I got it once, but that was
it's misfiring when you're in the newsfeed, but if you're inside a blog, it seems to work better. If you look at that notifications button, try that. I know it sounds like I'm being an apologist. I'm not. It's totally broken. But it is. I have noticed that there is that difference. Like if I'm inside my own blog and I look at the notifications button, it'll be all lit up with a whole bunch of them. So it's one way you can use it, perhaps, for the time being. So
it's such a shame because the community was so strong at one point, and it's gotten to a point. And I think this is largely not just. I feel like my IGN specifically started falling apart not only because of the problem with the commenting and notifications and everything. It's really, I think, once they like took it off the front page. Because if you guys remember, for a long time, for several years, the my IGN was like right next to the main IGN thumbnail on the front page, and whenever you'd go anywhere, it was right there as an option. And now it's kind of like this niche area, some akin to like something of the boards. Which I think really has killed the community in the fact that there's no new blood, and it's just like this devoted segment of people, and even myself. And this sounds terrible. I probably haven't written a blog on my IGN in 6 months because I've just people have just been falling out of it, and there are no new people coming to replace the people that have stopped blogging.
Yeah. I had been wondering about that, whether maybe it's an internal business focus that they're not seeing any kind of returns from supporting the social site, but you can't really read people based on anything if they have a business interest in it. In my experience in life, what I'm trying to say is like, if, I did speak directly and in person with people, and they did not give me any telegraph vibe that, well, it's not a priority. It was the opposite. They were, including Pear, had said at one point over the internet in a chat on IGN that it was all at least the way they're facing it out to the community is they are trying to fix it. It's just extremely complicated, and it did not at least feel like it was an excuse. It felt like they were being 100% legitimate. They were saying that this is the system and the architecture is really old. And it's really difficult for them to get it to all work together and tie in together and have even the notifications, activate correctly without breaking something else. So I don't know. Again, I can probably come off like an apologist. I tend to at this point take them at face value and say, yeah, they're trying to fix it. But yeah, I agree that when they pulled off the front page, that could signal something. I've wondered about it too. So
well, for me, I stopped, to be honest, because after I got banned, I just stopped caring, and they wouldn't let me back. So I was like, all right. Then I made that second account. They're like, oh, you're kind of somewhat back. But when I came back, it was like, I wasn't the fact that, like, I guess, like, nobody, like, knew me again. But, like, I kind of noticed it was dead. And the only things written also are, like, oh, what should be the question of the week? Or here, what's top 5 of this? And I'm like, bro, I don't need some fake ass BuzzFeed, and I don't want to hear what I don't need to read a 3-sentence thing on what you did this week or what we all should vote on in the comments. Like, you know what I want to read? I want to read some freaking reviews, and I want to read some opinions. You know what I mean? Like, I used to write like at least like 1,000 to 2,000 word freaking. Like, or like I wouldn't even like blog posts. Like I would like go in, and it was like now you don't even see that. Like you get this unquality BuzzFeed like writing. Like shit, dude. I could fart that out too, but I'd be embarrassed if I did that. I mean, that's it for me. I mean, I want to go back to my IGN, but I just don't care right now, and there's just no quality making me go back.
So, Mike, you're tentatively positive.
Look, I'll try to come back. I mean, I got my press pass for Comic-Con, so I'll fill you guys in if I get all those cool games. If they actually come, because last year like no new games was there. But I mean, look, I want to come back, so I mean, I root for the community. I thought there was a lot of great people. I mean, obviously, I met all you guys do there, so I mean, there's definitely a lot of great people. So
Yeah, I think there was like a breaking point where a lot of people just got their own life situations that took over like all at the same time. Like once I entered college, like I didn't even have ideas for blogs anymore. I'm just like, I don't know what to write. So I just like updated with school stuff, and I think a lot of other people had the same kind of thing. There was just something in their life around a certain point where they wouldn't be able to commit to writing any more blogs, and then there just weren't enough people.
I agree with that. I've thought about actually writing a blog on that phenomenon. That I think some people, a large percentage of people, it's totally normal. You get something out of your system, and then, then you find out if you're the kind of person that keeps going with it or not. I too went through that cycle, and I think it's an okay thing to have a long view on it. Well, I see some bloggers that, stick around, say that they say, I go in phases. Sometimes I write a whole bunch and sometimes I don't, but I'm not going to, sit here and pound out a 2,000 word blog every week, for relative strangers in a lot of cases, so I think it goes in cycles personally with my interest, and, there's nothing wrong with that. I think everybody should feel okay with that. Life is good. You should not be at a computer all the time, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, even a year ago, there were new people coming in and making some blogs, and then even they kind of left or did something. Like, I was looking up followers I had on IGN to get potential people as hosts, which a couple of them I have already, but a lot of them were like, haven't been on for a month or 3 to 4 weeks or like a couple of months or something, and it's like, man, like I don't know, not a lot of people have spent a lot of time on here, and that's just like writing something in their news feed. I'm not even looking at blogs. It's just like the last time they posted like a notification of some sort. I don't know. The only people I've seen come in are people who just want to raise their IGN level, so they just follow everyone else. So I think a lot of people have gotten like a lot of random followers.
Yeah, I've got so many. Like, I don't even blog, and I'm like, what the hell? Why did I get any? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, sometimes I'm like, I should get none, and I'll just get, and I'm like, all right, whatever. But
and I don't know what the purpose of that is, because
the levels don't do anything.
Point of losing? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like level 40 on Troy Phobos, and I'm like, this doesn't give me anything more. It doesn't like, oh, you know what? Because you're level 40, here's $10. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I'm like, I'm walking through IGN hallways, and I'm like, oh my god, make way, level 40.
But I mean, it's not like they followed a bunch of people so that they could get someone to read their blog, because they don't have a blogger at all. So it's like, what's the point? Are you one of those Facebook people where you just add a bunch of people so you think you have like this whole community behind you, but you really have no one and you're lonely?
Yeah, let them do what they want. I ain't one to judge, even though I judge all the time. We'll see how it is. But, honestly, like, that was the other thing too. I remember, like, I was like super excited. Like, the only thing I want now is with my fake new account. I just want the spotlights. That's so I can get some free YouTube subs out of it. So I remember when it actually took skill to get your blog on the front page. What do you call it? When I got like a few, like, all my shit would blow up for like the next 2 days. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Like, everything blew up. Yeah. Like, now it's just like, oh, community featured posts and all the other stuff. So I'm like, maybe I'll get spotlight, sneak like 2 or 3 subs in there. Maybe they'll actually like my stuff. Because I feel like it's a good way to get noticed again, but at the same time, it's like, who cares now? Because they can be like, I don't like my IGN, like, they don't promote it at all. It's more like, all right, let me try to get the top comment on one of the popular articles. That's like what my IGN community has turned into, and it's probably some stupid meme, by the way.
Yeah, mostly is, or like a very neutral statement on an article. It's like, everybody be nice. It's like, I don't care. That's not a featured comment worth featuring.
Yeah, no, you got the best one. It'd be like, oh, good job, Xbox. This is coming from a PlayStation fan. It'll be like that all the time.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, shut the hell up. Who the hell cares? All right? It'll be like, yo, from an Xbox fan, yo, I'm really excited for Uncharted. Like, I don't give a shit what kind of fan you are, all right? From a freaking GX fan or some bullshit, all right? Yo, from an Atari 5600, man, Halo 5 looks sick. Alright. It's like, alright, dude. Atari hasn't made a system in like 30 years, but alright, cool. Okay. It's a freaking game, dude. Like, I don't care what you like. They do that for everything, though. It's not just this. Like, I mean, it's the worst in the game community, but I was on ESPN and they linked everything now to Facebook, and it'll also be like that. It'd be like, oh man, as a Yankees fan, congrats to this. And it's like, dude, I'm not gonna like your post just because you're a contradicting team liking this. Like, it doesn't mean anything at all, and it's not making you a better person. The fact that you stated it out makes you a worse person, all right?
Yeah, it doesn't really add to the conversation.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I don't really care. I just kind of hope the community gets back into, like kind of like a thing where maybe blogs are more meaningful, or it's like, not blogs are more meaningful, where it just gets into things where they're more thought out than what they are. They're just too simple and they're not. It's kind of like music today. Like, look, I love every song today, but it doesn't last. You know what I mean? It's not classic. Like Michael Jackson music is still good today. Like, but I mean, a lot of music today I'll like for the week, but then I'll realize I hate it next week on the radio. So I think it's kind of like that kind of thing.
Mike, that's called getting older. I can speak to it personally. Welcome to the old man club where everything sucks that comes out now and all the old stuff is better. Welcome.
Oh yeah, that's how
is this like that South Park episode? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Kyle, what's wrong? Everything I see is crap.
Yeah, I guess I've had that for a while then, because anything that is numbered, that top 5 bullshit or any of that is my pet peeve of life. Okay, I hate that shit. All right, It's like, do you have do you have the English capability of a 6th grader? Oh, good, you can write for freaking Elite Daily or BuzzFeed and write, 7 reasons why you should wear white socks. Like, whoa, white socks.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah. I guess if they want to,
I hate everything.
I guess if they want to revitalize the community, they'll have to introduce a meaningful way of like benefiting people who put time into it rather than quantity of articles they make.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they can really regulate that sort of thing.
Well, we're not the My IGN technical podcast, so screw them right now. They banned me. Screw IGN. Well, they didn't ban my second me, but they banned the important me, who had humanoids. Even though I still felt like everyone hated me.
I didn't hate you, and that's all that matters.
On that note, nobody here hates Mike.
You guys all enjoy it. Me and my s'mores and popcorn.
You're making me want some s'mores and popcorn. I haven't.
Oh man, you're missing out. All right. I mean, for dinner I had some spaghetti meatballs and chocolate milk. So
you're gonna have. Matt's gonna have to tell an episode, like the episode, something that includes s'mores and popcorn. Like, just call it like, Mike eats s'mores and popcorn.
Yeah, it gets a s'mores and popcorn rating, all things like that. And we just look for food I hate and...
4 kernels out of 5. Before we go, I just realized one quick thing. So the Super Mario Maker stage is coming out September 30th, and that's this Wednesday. So do you guys, and since October 3rd is when the Smash ballot ends, do you guys think they'll release, assuming they have a character, do you think it'll be first party or third party? Because last time the other ones were just returning characters, and then Ryu was the actual new one, which was third party.
The question is, assuming Nintendo even cares about the Smash ballot, ...
excluding legal rights. Let's see what we're going to get.
Obviously.
I think that Shovel Knight might be a possibility just because the amiibo was announced. If not him, then I think it might just be another first-party character, like, say, the Ice Climbers. That would be exclusive to new 3DS and Wii U. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, in my opinion, I was thinking about this as someone who competes in Smash. I wonder if there's going to be a balance patch with the new stage, or are they going to wait for the new characters? In the balance patch, what happens is, replays becoming unwatchable because it's replays in this game aren't replays. They're actually really simulating what happened before, so that's why you can't just copy the file into, like a hard drive and rewatch it. So I wonder if they're going to...
Well, they did add the YouTube feature.
That is true. I mean, I forgot
But that probably takes a crap load of time to upload.
Oh yeah, I forgot that exists, to be honest. But
yeah.
But I wonder if this Mario Maker level is gonna change. There's definitely gonna be a character balance patch coming up with the new characters. But I wonder what the Mario Maker state is. They just gonna add it in, or are they gonna change some stuff? And then the other thing is, I don't know who they're gonna add. I'm biased. It's gonna be King K. Rool, Banjo-Kazooie, and Bomberman. So. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy those three because that's what it's gonna be.
Cool. It'd be cool if they added Inkling and then had a Splatoon items or something in the game to coincide with that. That'd be neat. Unoclay, did you have any ideas if it would be first or third party?
I personally think that the licensing issues will limit it, so I'm gonna bet my money is on they're gonna do a mix. That we'll get. If people pick things that are relatively simple to get a licensing agreement into the game, then we'll get a couple of those. And if it's all ridiculous ones, that there's no chance in hang, for them to get it, then we won't. That's going to be a big factor in it. I thought you were going to ask, are we going to get an announcement in the very near future? Do they already have number one picked and they're going to release it? Immediately. I can't speak to that. Nintendo seems to make their own schedules on that kind of stuff. Maybe they would save the bulk of the announcements for Christmas since they canceled Star Fox and things like that. So they need something, you know what I mean? So kind of hold some of the characters for a Christmas kind of bonus type thing. But I don't know. We will see. I'm psyched about the stage. The Mario Maker stage looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
Take my money, please kind of moment for me, so it's, I'm in, I'm looking forward to see what these characters are because I didn't download Roy, but I downloaded all the other things that have come out of significance for the game. So, I'm definitely in that target market that they want where I'm just hooked and keep buying crap. So excited to see what happens.
Cool. I kind of think they'll have a character coming out in October just because by now, the ballot has been going on for 5 months. So I think they know who are the most popular and they probably already started working on at least one of them by now.
Leisure Suit Larry. You heard it here first. Leisure Suit Larry in Smash Brothers. So.
Oh, gosh. His special move is he ogles you.
You don't want to see his finishing move.
Oh gosh, gives a new term to finishing. But I think that's a good point to stop for today. So I'm the Mango Viking. You can find me there on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Eli, why don't you tell us where we can find you?
Paula Salon, you can find me on Twitter, on my IGN, and then also find my writing on NintendoEnthusiast.com.
Cool. Mike, where can people find you?
Alright guys, I'm Troy Fullbuster on Twitter and Twitch, and then you can also find me on Gaming Night Live on YouTube. So former SMB64, which is the same as my IGN SMB64. So whatever one you want, not SMB, SMB Gaming 64. So whichever one you want to look up, you'll probably find it. So yeah.
And Unoclay, where can people find you?
I'm Unoclay. You can find me on my IGN under Unoclay1 because they still can't fix my name to just be Unoclay. And at Barcade in Philadelphia. I'm there every Sunday night playing video games before I come home and sometimes appear on this podcast.
Cool. So thanks for coming on, Unoclay. And so wherever you're listening, listeners, you can also find Just Another Castle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and IGN. You can drop us a question there, and if you can drop us a question there if you want to get it heard on the podcast or if you want to be a guest. And the best way to message to be a guest on the podcast is to message me at the Mango Viking, since I check that most. So leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.
Well done. Oh, 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 well done. It's the sky.